Chicago in the late 19th century was a city of contrasts. It was a bustling metropolis, a symbol of American progress and innovation. Yet, beneath the gleaming facade of progress, a darkness lurked. The city was shrouded in a perpetual haze of coal smoke, casting long shadows that seemed to harbor secrets. The streets teemed with life, but also with vice and danger. Pickpockets, swindlers, and thugs preyed on the unwary, and the stench of poverty and desperation clung to the air. The Chicago World's Fair of 1893 promised to be a beacon of hope and wonder, a celebration of human ingenuity and achievement. It drew millions of visitors from across the globe, eager to witness the marvels on display. But amidst the dazzling lights and the joyous crowds, a sinister figure moved unseen, drawn to the fair like a moth to a flame. This was Herman Webster Mudgett, better known as H.H. Holmes, America's first serial killer. Holmes arrived in Chicago in 1886, a young man with a charming smile and a heart full of darkness. He was a con artist and a thief, but his ambitions went far beyond petty crime. Holmes envisioned something far grander, a monument to his own twisted genius. He would build a hotel, a palace of secrets and death, where he could indulge his darkest desires. This hotel, later dubbed the Murder Castle by the press, would become his hunting ground, a place where he could lure unsuspecting victims to their doom. The Murder Castle stood on a busy street, its imposing facade blending seamlessly with the surrounding buildings. But behind its walls lay a labyrinth of secret rooms, hidden passages, and soundproof chambers, all designed to facilitate Holmes's gruesome work. The hotel was a masterpiece of deception, a place where guests could check in but never check out. Herman Webster Mudgett was born into a respectable family in New Hampshire in 1861. He was a bright child, but also prone to cruelty and deceit. As a young man, he developed a fascination with anatomy and medicine, a morbid interest that would later serve him well in his murderous pursuits. Mudgett changed his name to H.H. Holmes, shedding his past like a snake shedding its skin. He moved to Chicago, a city teeming with opportunity, and began to construct his empire of evil. Holmes was a master manipulator, able to charm and deceive with equal ease. He used his charisma to gain the trust of those around him, luring them into his web of deceit. He preyed on young women, often those who were new to the city and desperate for work. He offered them employment in his hotel, promising them a safe haven and a fresh start. But for these unfortunate souls, the Murder Castle would become their final destination. Holmes's motives remain shrouded in mystery. Some believe he killed for profit, taking advantage of his victims' trust to steal their money and possessions. Others speculate that he was driven by a deep-seated sadism, a perverse pleasure in inflicting pain and suffering. Whatever his reasons, Holmes's crimes shocked the nation, revealing the dark underbelly of American society and the monsters that could lurk beneath the surface of normalcy. The construction of the Murder Castle was a testament to Holmes's cunning and meticulous planning. He hired and fired different construction crews, ensuring that no single person understood the building's true layout. He incorporated secret passages, hidden rooms, and soundproof chambers, creating a macabre playground for his murderous desires. The castle was a house of horrors, a place where the innocent were trapped and the wicked thrived. The Murder Castle was a masterpiece of deception, a seemingly ordinary hotel that concealed a sinister secret within its walls. Holmes designed the building with a labyrinthine layout, filled with hidden passages, secret rooms, and soundproof chambers. This architectural nightmare served as his killing field, a place where he could torture and murder his victims without detection. One of the most chilling features of the Murder Castle was the vault, a large, airtight chamber located in the basement. Holmes would lure his victims into the vault, often under the pretense of showing them something interesting. Once inside, he would seal the door, trapping them within the soundproof chamber. He would then pump gas into the vault, slowly suffocating his victims, their muffled screams unable to penetrate the thick walls. Another gruesome method employed by Holmes was the use of a grease chute, which led from the second floor to the basement. Holmes would strangle his victims in their rooms, then dispose of their bodies by sending them down the chute. The bodies would land in the basement, where Holmes had constructed a crematorium to incinerate the remains, leaving no trace of his crimes. The Murder Castle was a place of unspeakable horrors, a testament to the depths of human depravity. Holmes's victims, mostly young women, were lured to the hotel with promises of employment and a fresh start. Little did they know that they were stepping into a nightmare, a place where their dreams would turn to dust and their lives would be brutally extinguished. The 1893 World's Fair, also known as the World's Columbian Exposition, was a momentous event for Chicago. It was a celebration of human progress, showcasing the latest innovations in technology, art, and culture. Millions of visitors flocked to the city, eager to witness the wonders on display. But amidst the dazzling lights and the joyous crowds, a darkness lurked. H. Holmes saw the World's Fair as a unique opportunity, a hunting ground teeming with potential victims. Holmes used the excitement and chaos of the fair to his advantage. He preyed on young women who were visiting the city for the first time, often those who were traveling alone or were separated from their companions. He would charm them with his charisma and offer them lodging at his hotel, promising them a safe and comfortable stay. But for these unsuspecting victims, the murder castle would be their final destination. The fair provided Holmes with a steady stream of potential victims, and he used his cunning and deception to lure them into his trap. He would often change his appearance, using disguises to avoid detection and to gain the trust of his victims. He would present himself as a successful businessman, a charming gentleman, or a helpful stranger, always adapting his persona to suit his needs. The World's Fair, intended as a symbol of progress and enlightenment, became a backdrop for Holmes's dark deeds. His crimes cast a long shadow over the event, a chilling reminder that even amidst the greatest triumphs of human civilization, the potential for evil always lurked. As the World's Fair drew to a close, the whispers of missing persons began to grow louder. The authorities, initially dismissive of the disappearances, started to take notice as the number of missing persons continued to rise. The focus shifted to H. Holmes, the enigmatic owner of the murder castle, whose charm and charisma had begun to unravel, revealing a darker side beneath the surface. The investigation into Holmes's activities was led by Detective Frank Geyer, a seasoned investigator known for his tenacity and sharp wit. Geyer meticulously pieced together the puzzle, interviewing former employees, acquaintances, and anyone who had crossed paths with Holmes. He uncovered a trail of deceit, fraud, and ultimately murder, leading him deeper into the labyrinth of Holmes's crimes. The discovery of the murder castle's horrors sent shockwaves through Chicago and beyond. The press dubbed Holmes the Monster of 63rd Street, a moniker that captured the public's imagination and fueled the growing sense of dread surrounding the case. The nation watched in horror as the full extent of Holmes's crimes was revealed, the details of his methods sending chills down the spines of even the most hardened investigators. The unveiling of the murder castle exposed a dark underbelly of American society, a hidden world of vice, corruption, and violence that lurked beneath the veneer of progress and prosperity. The case of H. Holmes became a cautionary tale, a reminder that even in the midst of great achievements, the potential for evil could never be truly eradicated. As Detective Geyer delved deeper into the investigation, he uncovered a complex web of deceit and manipulation that spanned years and multiple states. Holmes had a knack for creating elaborate cons, using aliases and forged documents to evade detection and maintain his facade of respectability. He would often take out life insurance policies on his victims, naming himself as the beneficiary, turning death into a profitable enterprise. The investigation led Geyer on a cross-country pursuit, following the trail of Holmes's crimes from Chicago to Texas, and eventually to Philadelphia. Along the way, Geyer uncovered a string of abandoned properties, each bearing the hallmarks of Holmes's handiwork, secret rooms, hidden passages, and evidence of foul play. The scope of Holmes's crimes grew with each passing day, painting a chilling portrait of a man who had turned murder into a macabre business. Geyer's pursuit of Holmes was a relentless game of cat and mouse, a battle of wits between a cunning criminal and a determined detective. Holmes, ever the master manipulator, attempted to deflect suspicion, spinning elaborate lies and weaving a tangled web of misinformation to throw Geyer off his trail. But Geyer, driven by a sense of justice and a desire to bring Holmes to account, refused to give up the chase. The investigation into Holmes's crimes was a landmark case in American criminal justice, laying the groundwork for modern forensic investigation techniques. Geyer's meticulous approach, his attention to detail, and his unwavering pursuit of the truth set a new standard for criminal investigations, paving the way for the development of modern detective work. After a lengthy pursuit, Detective Geyer finally apprehended H. Holmes in Boston. Holmes, facing overwhelming evidence against him, confessed to his crimes, providing chilling details of his methods and motives. His confession, a macabre testament to his depravity, shocked the nation and solidified his place in history as America's first serial killer. Holmes's trial was a media sensation, drawing crowds eager to catch a glimpse of the man dubbed the Devil in the White City. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence, including witness testimonies, forensic analysis, and Holmes's own confession, painting a gruesome picture of his crimes. Despite his attempts to plead insanity, Holmes was found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging. On May 7, 1896, H. Holmes was hanged at Moyamensing Prison in Philadelphia. His execution marked the end of a reign of terror that had gripped the nation for years. But even in death, Holmes's legend continued to grow, fueled by the macabre details of his crimes and the enduring fascination with the dark side of human nature. Holmes's confession and execution brought a sense of closure to the families of his victims, but the scars of his crimes ran deep. The case of H. Holmes served as a chilling reminder that even in the midst of progress and enlightenment, the potential for evil could never be truly eradicated. Despite his execution, the legend of H. Holmes continued to grow, fueled by the gruesome details of his crimes and the enduring fascination with the dark side of human nature. The murder castle, demolished in 1895, became a site of morbid curiosity, attracting ghost hunters and thrill seekers drawn to the stories of the horrors that had transpired within its walls. Over the years, the story of H. Holmes has been recounted in countless books, documentaries, and television shows, each retelling adding to the mystique and horror surrounding his crimes. The murder castle has become a symbol of evil, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of normalcy. The enduring fascination with H. Holmes speaks to our collective fascination with the macabre, our desire to explore the darkest corners of the human psyche. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even in the midst of progress and enlightenment, the potential for evil can never be truly eradicated. The legend of H. Holmes continues to haunt our collective consciousness, a chilling reminder that the monsters we fear the most are often those who walk among us, hidden in plain sight, their true nature concealed beneath a veneer of charm and respectability. The chilling tale of H. Holmes has captivated audiences for over a century, inspiring countless works of fiction and nonfiction. His story has been adapted into numerous books, films, television shows, and even video games, each retelling adding to the mystique and horror surrounding his crimes. Eric Larson's best-selling book, The Devil in the White City, brought Holmes' story to a new generation, weaving a captivating narrative that intertwined the horrors of the murder castle with the grandeur of the 1893 World's Fair. The book's success spawned a renewed interest in Holmes, leading to further exploration of his crimes in documentaries and television series. The History Channel's American Ripper explored the theory that Holmes was Jack the Ripper, the infamous serial killer who terrorized London in 1888. While the theory remains controversial, it highlights the enduring fascination with Holmes and the desire to connect him to other unsolved mysteries. Holmes' story has also been adapted into fictional works, such as the graphic novel Holmes by Raphael Albuquerque and the horror film H. Holmes, America's First Serial Killer. These adaptations, while taking creative liberties with the historical facts, capture the essence of Holmes' evil and the chilling nature of his crimes. H. Holmes' legacy extends far beyond the walls of the murder castle. His crimes shocked the nation, revealing the dark underbelly of American society and the monsters that could lurk beneath the surface of normalcy. His case served as a catalyst for the development of modern forensic investigation techniques, paving the way for the advancements in criminal justice that we see today. Holmes' story continues to serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder that evil can take many forms, often hiding behind a facade of charm and respectability. His crimes highlight the importance of vigilance, the need to be aware of the potential dangers that can lurk in the shadows, even in the midst of progress and prosperity. The fascination with H. Holmes endures, fueled by our collective desire to understand the darkest corners of the human psyche. His story serves as a reminder that the capacity for evil exists within us all, and that the line between good and evil can be terrifyingly thin. The legacy of H. Holmes is a chilling reminder that the monsters we fear the most are often those who walk among us, their true nature concealed beneath a veneer of normalcy, waiting for the opportunity to strike.